What is up? Welcome back to episode 4 of You Might Be Surprised. What is up? What is up? I still need a new freaking intro besides what is up. But you know what? What is up? It's technically, I don't have my watch on. Technically, it's May 2nd. But yeah, it's the end of alcohol-free April. Alcohol-free April. I ran 30 miles in 30 days. Didn't drink for like 40 days, maybe 38 days. And I had myself a glass of whiskey here. I was sipping on it before the episode, but you know, cheers. A couple of weird things that I didn't think were going to happen from not having alcohol for so long is I don't really like the taste of alcohol anymore. It's crazy, right? I don't like the taste. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna wear a hat. I am so tired. I'm recording this at 12 o'clock at night because that's the only time my house is quiet. So I have to record this thing at 12 o'clock at night and I'm just alone in my own thoughts. And if you zoom in right now, you could see the bags under my eyes. I am exhausted and I'm recording this Friday night and I normally edit and post Sunday or schedule it for Monday. And for some reason, I tried recording this podcast once and I got like 10 minutes in. I was like, nah, this isn't happening. So, but yeah, a little life update. Alcohol-free April's done. I ran 30 miles. And I think I'm going to try to finish a couple books this month. I think that's what I'm going to challenge myself to. Finish 2 books and I'm going to continue to work out. I didn't realize how expensive weights were, bro. I went and bought 2 35-pound weights and they were $75. I knew that I was going to be spending money, but yeah, $75 for dumbbells for 2, bro. I don't even want to know how much 5 through 100 is. That's easily a couple $1,000s. Just need to make more money with the podcast, bro. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but if you're listening, I got myself a chain. If you heard last episode, I told you I was buying myself a $500,000 chain, and here it is. It's $500,000, and I said I was gonna get a big You Might Be Surprised chain, but I decided to get a small chain where people think, oh, it's not worth that much, but when you look into the fine details, you can actually see it says You Might Be Surprised in very fine print throughout the whole entire chain. So limited edition podcast is booming. So yeah, I got myself a $500,000 chain. A $500,000 chain. Looks like I'm moving to Hollywood. You know, it's official. I'm Hollywood. Oh, I'll tell you what though. This whiskey, it's some sort of turkey whiskey. It's one with I don't know whiskey. If for some reason a whiskey company wants to send me whiskey for me to try, hit me up. You know, I'm not that big of a star, but you know, I'm growing. My podcast reached 384 people supposedly, according to YouTube analytics. Take another sip. So yeah, what else is new with me? I think I'm gonna start dropping the first couple minutes of the podcast is just a life update with me, because it is a podcast about me. So yeah, I bought dumbbells. I'm gonna start lifting weights again. I decided I'm too skinny and I miss being jacked. And last episode, I was complaining how I haven't had coffee. How I haven't had good coffee. Well, shout out to Trade Coffee. I took their test and they sent me coffee. I think it was like $14, sent me coffee for a Chemex, bro. The best cup of coffee I ever had, that I've ever had. It's so smooth. So smooth. Every single time I make a cup of this coffee, I feel like a barista. I just want you to know, I feel like a barista. I even bought myself an apron that says I love coffee on it. I wish I was kidding. I have an apron and I put that bitch on and I make coffee every morning. It is amazing. I will tell you what, too. Last episode I was complaining I was saying how I was going to go to Starbucks and buy their whole menu. I finally had Starbucks today. And let me tell you, their coffee cups are way too damn big. I'm used to having one cup of coffee. One good cup of coffee. Starbucks gives you, I got a large because I was like, I don't know when I'm going to be back here again. I was out. I was running errands. I was like, you know what? Starbucks. I'm gonna do it. I got it. I got a large. What'd I get? A large cold brew sweet foam something. Large. Bro, I got like a quarter of the way through this thing and I was like, I don't need this much coffee. I really don't need this much coffee. It was like $7. I was like, bro, I can't believe I was drinking that much coffee to begin with. I don't need caffeine anymore. I'm good with one good cup of coffee. And the reason why I'm saying good is because the coffee that I'm making is delicious. I will take a photo of the coffee and I'll put it up here so you know which one I'm talking about. It is, oh, bro, just thinking about it. I want it so bad. Whoops, chewing nice. Probably not a good thing for the mic, but oh well. But yeah, Starbucks cups are way too damn big. I don't even know if I'm going to be going to Starbucks anymore if I can make good coffee at home. I think that's one thing that quarantine has like proven for a lot of people is how much shit you can get done at home. You can get a good workout at home if you have the right equipment. You can make really good food at home. That way you're not going out and spending so much money. Businesses are finding out that you can do just or the same amount of work, if not more work at home. And like offices, and you can do Zoom meetings now. Everything's going to be done from home for like probably for the rest. I don't want to say for the rest of the year, but I feel like a lot of stuff is going to get integrated from being at home because of this virus. And there's some good things that are coming out of it, and there's some bad things that are coming out of it. Because I want normal life back, but also I feel like we can probably change things, for the better. For the better. For the better. Bro. Speaking of quarantine, did you guys see that the Pentagon released, or I believe it was the Pentagon, but pretty much they confirmed aliens and no one cared. No one cared. And I'm going to tell a story real quick before I finish on with my thought. In college, me and my friend got super drunk and yelled at each other for like 5 hours about aliens, and I kept on yelling about how we are in a simulation. And I know for a fact now that we are in a simulation. Don't take this seriously, but kind of take it seriously. Let's think about this, okay? The unknown, the biggest unknown that we have is if we are the only people, if we are the only living species in the whole entire world, the whole entire universe. I like to think that there is others out there like us, And the Pentagon proved. Okay? And no one cared. We're so worried about Corona that no one cared that there's aliens. No one cared. Not a news source, not a news company covered it. It's just conspiracy theories. Now, let me explain to you why this means that we are in a simulation. Okay? If you think of it as a computer game, when something big happens, okay, none of the people that are, or none of the computer-based people that are in a video game freak out. They're programmed to do stuff, and that's all. So we got dropped the biggest knowledge that we could ever possibly have, that there is such thing as aliens or some sort of other life form. Okay? And no one freaked out about it besides the conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theorists. Okay? No one freaked out about it. Which means, if no one freaked out about it, that people are programmed to not freak out about it. That's all I got. That is all I got. We're in a freaking simulation, bro. Not really, though. But kind of, though. Like, if you just think about it, it makes sense. All right. I'm going to be real here for a second. Not because I've been drinking or I don't even like this. I need to figure out a new way to structure this podcast. Not every podcast is going to be a banger. Okay? I felt like last episode was a banger. And I need to put out something, so here goes nothing. One of the things I need to work on that I've noticed from doing 3 episodes, now 4, is that my delivery sucks. I really suck at delivering my stuff because I have all these great ideas that go through my head. Okay? And one of the things I've struggled with my whole life is like talking because of my speech impediment. But I think one of the things that is very underdeveloped for me is like developing full thoughts and putting them into sentences. Like, obviously I can talk and hold conversation and stuff, but like whenever I think of like good ideas and stuff, I can't describe them perfectly the way I'm thinking it. For example, I was playing a video game with my friend last night. It's called We Were Here, and pretty much you're locked into two rooms, and you're pretty much talking back to each other and helping them escape. So pretty much what happens is that I found out that I suck at describing things. We spent like 40 minutes on the easiest task because I couldn't describe it to him. I was reading a riddle, and I knew what I was trying to say, but I couldn't put it into words. And I ended up just like sending him a photo, and he like figured it out in like 3 minutes. And I was like, dang, that's something that I need to work on for just like life and podcasts and stuff. And I know I want to make this a comedy podcast, and I feel like I've cracked jokes and stuff. But also podcasts are just being you. So I think what I need to do is I need to spend more time writing. I need to spend more time writing. This is a comedy podcast, but this is also like me just doing reflections and stuff. Not every podcast is going to be funny bangers as much as I want it to be. Not yet, at least. This is only episode 4, bro. Think about this. Think about what. Well, let's put this into perspective. Think about Bert Kreischer, Chris D'Elia, any comedian, okay? You think that their fourth joke was their best? You think their fourth podcast was... Let's put this in the podcast terms. I bet you if we go back to Joe Rogan's fourth podcast, it would be better than mine. Way better than mine. But it wouldn't be anything what it is right now. I'm pretty sure like all he did in his fourth podcast was drink, smoke, and just like rant on with his friends. I'm doing this by myself. If I could have somebody here and talk about things, I would be so much more funnier. So that's why I feel like I need to work on my delivery. Like, how can I practice working on my delivery right now? How can I practice working on my delivery? I don't know. Let me go through like things that I've written down. This notebook that I've had right here has carried through my like life of ideas for the past 5 years. Like I have so many ideas that I've written down in here. Like I want to come up, like I want to create a clothing company. I don't know, dude. I don't know. See, I feel like I don't have anything funny to talk about, but I need to put something out, bro. At this point, I'm just going back and forth and back and forth. The first part of the podcast, I talked about coffee and aliens and how we were in a simulation, but I gave a poor description on why we're in a simulation. It also doesn't help that I have to record this thing at 12 o'clock at night, dude. At 12 o'clock at night, I don't have any energy. I've got my whole day. I've worked 8 hours. I've worked 8 hours today, okay? And I'm not trying to make excuses here. I'm a busy guy. Well, let me run you through my day-to-day. I wake up at 7, make breakfast. Work meeting. Then I work. Around 9 to 10 o'clock, I go up and make a cup of coffee. That cup of coffee lasts me till lunch. Till lunch, I make lunch. See, like, I'm talking about the most dumbest things, bro. I'm going to call this podcast just a reflection of my life and why I suck. What do I need to write about? Let me look at my notes. Oh yeah, I was supposed to watch Chris D'Elia's No Pain. I still haven't watched that. Because I can't tell if going over going over comedy shows is like a good thing to do for a podcast. And I haven't been writing that much. Something that I do with my life is that I come up with these great ideas and I do it for like a week, 2 weeks, sometimes a year, okay? And I do it. And once I start doing it, and then all of a sudden in my head, I either lose interest or I'm like, I'm not good enough. Like, why am I doing this? That's what happened with the last time I tried to record this podcast, okay? I got 10 minutes in and I was talking about kind of like the same stuff. Coffee, just my life and stuff. And I got halfway through and I was like, bro, why am I even doing this? And then I stopped. And I think I don't prepare. Like the first 3 episodes, I was like, yes, let's go. I'm ready. I had things to talk about. It also doesn't help that Corona has me locked inside where I can't go and live my life and share my experiences. I could talk about past experiences, but I can't explain them the way that I want to because my delivery and my storytelling sucks. Dude, I feel like I'm having a freaking like a spirit, not a spiritual like thing, but like I'm just like figuring out my life right here. I don't know. Like my life, I don't do anything throughout the day. It's so hard for me to write things. Like I could try to be comical and like talk about like the news and politics and stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm 23. My like landmark of life is so little. I don't have enough experiences to even like give good advice. The only thing I have experience on is having a speech impediment and feeling like lonely and depressed a lot, to finding podcasts, to becoming in love with the podcast of like the comedy world. Fun fact, I love metal music. I feel like I'm on a first date right now. I like metal music, and I was bullied a lot, and I drank a lot in college. Like, bro, what am I even saying right now? Oh, bro, I just this is gonna be the shortest podcast in the world. This is such a rant, dude. This podcast, oh my god, bro. I think I've hit my collapsing point of being inside. I miss going out and being able to have the option to do things. That's why when the world goes back to normal, bro. When the world goes back to normal, I'm doing everything that I can to make my life better. And I'm already doing things like now that I can control now to make my life better. I'm eating good. I'm working out. I'm staying healthy. I'm keeping my mind busy with being creative with this podcast, reading books, the video editing I do, and the audio editing that I do help. But I'm going to do everything I can to live a life where I'm just doing things and constantly being happy. Because one thing that just being locked inside has taught me is just like, life is so short. And I really think that's just gave me like a whole new perspective on like just like what I like appreciate. Like I appreciate my friends so much more, the people in my life. And like a really weird way, like I appreciate the time that I've had with the people that I don't really talk to that much anymore. I used to like be mad at them and be like like why did they leave my life? But like I think I've come throughout this month and a half of just like being in my own head and stuff is like just realizing that like things don't work out between people, and whether that be a relationship, friendship, I mean sometimes it just goes with like you're not good with, or you're not very fond of your parents, or like things like that. It like life is so short that if anyone who's watching this has made it through my whole breakdown and whole like just epiphany that I've had, take one thing from this podcast. Or before I explain it, I think I forgot who told me this, but I've kind of carried it throughout my whole life. I think you learn something from every person that you meet that you carry on for the rest of your life, your shared experiences. Okay? One thing that I think needs to be said more is just do whatever makes you happy. Of course, you need to make money, and of course, having more money helps with that. But if you don't surround yourself with the people that bring you joy and bring you less stress, and you're doing something that makes you happy, then that's all you need in life. Like, of course, you see all of this social media stuff, and you see people like Logan Paul, Kylie Jenner, people who have like the perfect life, and you see that life and you envy that. But I'm telling you, if you're sitting in a studio apartment right now, listening to this podcast, and you're just having a grand old time, and you go to work, and you know you don't drive the nicest car, but you have a good car and stuff, and you're just living life and stuff, dude. Just live life. Surround yourself with people, bro. I think I really think I've hit my like point of just like of just like pushing through this, because normally I'd be like, okay, I made 3 podcasts. And it's like, okay, I guess it's time for me to I think it's time for me to like to be done with this now, because I've like lost interest, or I don't think I can do it anymore, which is why I'm pushing myself through, because I just need to create something and just to put it out, to keep going every Monday I need something. Every Monday, a podcast, 30-minute podcast, soon to be an hour podcast whenever I can figure out my camera to record longer, or I'm just going to do segments and stuff. And I need to write more throughout the week. I like jot down stuff that I just like whenever I listen to the other podcasts, or I see things that are going on and throughout the world. I write these things down, and I feel like I just need to do a little bit more research. The past month and a half, my like day-to-day after work is like I work out for like an hour, and I eat, and then I go on and play video games with my friends for like 4 or 5 hours a night. And I could be using that time to write better podcasts and to expand myself, read more books. And part of me plays these games so I could get some sort of social contact with my friends, because I'm not seeing them. I don't know, bro. I don't know. This podcast is so split right now. Oh, God. Man, thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. You know, it's a comedy podcast, or I want it to be a comedy podcast, but it's also when I tell people I have a podcast, I say it's a podcast about me, a 23-year-old man trying to make it through life with his love for comedy. And I think this podcast is me trying to make it through life. You know? I feel like I just need to rant about just some certain things. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this podcast kind of short. I don't know if it's short or not. So yeah, please follow. Please, if you're listening to this on YouTube, like, comment, and share, and subscribe, please. The YouTube is You Might Be Surprised YouTube, or You Might Be Surprised podcast. If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, I would love for you to leave a rating. Helps me a lot. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at the Chris Lynch, the _ Chris Lynch. Sorry, so my Twitter is the _ Chris Lynch. And then I also created an Instagram for the podcast, and it's just You Might Be Surprised. I have that full handle, You Might Be Surprised, on Instagram. So far, there's three clips up. I'm planning on posting some clips and stuff, and actually, I'm going to post a clip right now. I'm recording this podcast right now. What up, bro? What up? I don't know if I'm gonna post that, but this is such a dude. I'm telling you what, you see these comedians and stuff, and just people who have podcasts, you're like, oh, that you're just talking. It's a lot harder than that. It's a lot harder. Just please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, follow, download, share with your friends, leave a review. Let me know what you want to hear from me. I think that's one of the things is like, I don't know. I still haven't found my niche yet for what I want with this podcast. And it's going to come. And maybe I will record this one again and you will never hear this. And this will only be for me, or I'll delete the footage. All right. As always, I've been Chris. You've been beautiful. And what do I always say? Try something new this week. You might be surprised what happens. Thank you guys for watching. You're